Multiple story Mondays, number 3. Aha, it's been 3 weeks of this, and I'm surprised I've been this consistent because these take like quite a while, and I'm surprised nothing like crazy has come up that like makes it so I can't record one of these. Anyways, I realized that the captions, like when I make my videos, it kind of automatically transcribes them for me, and the captions say that I speak in Hindi a lot, which doesn't really make any sense because I'm definitely speaking English, but I guess, I know Hindi now, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, let's get into our first story. Took a girl out for lunch and she ended up crying in the restaurant. Today I went to drop my mom off at a school meetup and she introduced me to her friend's daughter. We started talking and we really vibed. She seemed nice, so I asked if she wanted to grab lunch and she said yes. Since she's not from here, I took her to one of the best places in town because I wanted to show her some good food around. Everything was going great. Casual talk, food, laughter, until I asked about her ambitions. Next thing I know, she starts tearing up and crying in the middle of the restaurant. The waiter who was taking our order started handing her tissues while I just awkwardly continued giving the order because I had no idea how to react. Everyone around started staring. Some looked like they were ready to defend her if she screamed for help. The entire situation made it seem like I did something terrible. And just when I thought it couldn't get more awkward, the restaurant staff offered her a free dessert, which she happily accepted, still sniffling. I paid the bill, dropped her off, and now I can't even think about going back to that place. I didn't even do anything wrong, but somehow I'm the one feeling guilty. Edit. I really want to know the reason, and I wanted to ask her, but I thought that may trigger her and she may start crying again, so I started talking about something else. Commenter 1. Exactly. She is crying and OP be like, yeah, one farmhouse and two white sauce pastas, please. Commenter 2. OP got so traumatized he didn't even care to ask the girl, and started overthinking to such an extent he considered himself as a reason. OP. I got confused. After lunch, she was all fine and said sorry for that, but asking her about that felt like triggering her again, so I didn't. Update 1. She called me and explained that she has some memories linked to that place with her grandma. That's the reason. She picked me up and we met again. This time she told me everything. She's been in a relationship for 5 or 6 years. She really loves the guy, but now he's going to marry someone else because of caste differences. His mom apparently hates her for the same reason. She said she once had ambitions, dreams, and plans, but now she doesn't know what she wants anymore. She looked completely lost while saying it. I didn't know what to say at first, but I told her that maybe it's good they got separated because if they had ended up together, his family might have taunted her about her caste or behavior again and again. I've seen my friends go through that, and it only hurts more in the long run. Now I keep thinking if that was the right thing to say. I didn't want to sound cold or dismissive. I just wanted to help her see that sometimes walking away, even from someone you deeply love, might save you from breaking later. So I guess this person must be from a different country because a caste difference, or however you say that, I'm not sure, is basically just you were born into like a social status, pretty much. And like people marry into different social statuses because it like helps their reputation or something. I'm not too smart or educated within the subject, so that's about all I got. But anyways, that's kind of crazy that she just started bawling in the restaurant, and then OP actually added another comment saying that he hugged her goodbye and he's never gonna see her again. So, yeah, that's probably a good thing for him. And it sucks for the girl that, her boyfriend is going to marry someone else or something. I don't really know how that works. Anyways, let's just get into the second story. I, 27M, think my son's new friend could be his half brother. I'm not 100% sure, but the similarities are starting to scare me. After graduating from high school, I hooked up with one of the alumni. She was 26. They used to help out at all the school events. But then I found out she had a boyfriend and we broke up. At that time, me and my ex were already hooking up too, and she got pregnant months after. My son's 7. He's met a new friend that he hangs out with after school. The kid is like 8ish because he's a grade above my son. And guess who his mom is? We met a couple times picking our kids up, and she avoids me. It's not her avoiding me that has me suspicious because of course it's awkward anyways with an ex. It's that him and my son have so many similar features. The way that they smile, hair, skin color, the shape of their eyes and nose are so similar to mine. And everyone in my family always says my son looks exactly like me when I was a kid. Far as I know, haven't heard of any dad around and her IG doesn't show anyone else. I don't know if this is something to bring up to her at all. We didn't end things well at all, and she just hated me, even though she was the one who was a cheater to her boyfriend. Should I ask her about it, or is this just one of those things to leave alone? I'd hate to think I have a kid out there, not to know, but if it's gonna hurt him more than that, I'm not sure. Edit. Stop telling me to covertly get a DNA test on a minor without anyone's consent. That's an interesting situation, but You should probably just talk to her. That would probably be a good idea. Even if she's avoiding you, you should definitely say, "Hey, this kid looks a lot like my kid. Do you think that has anything to do with us, sleeping together around the same time that I had my actual kid, you know?" Anyways, let's just see what the update has to say. I guess I was right, and in the end, he's mine. The whole freaking time I had another kid. Lucky that his mom was willing to talk to me about it. It wasn't easy not doing this in front of the kids, but I managed to ask her to meet up alone to talk. When I asked her the obvious, she started crying. And she said when we broke up, she found out about the pregnancy, but thought her boyfriend back then was the father. But she revealed the cheating to him, and they did a paternity test after she gave birth. He wasn't the father, so we dipped. Then she didn't want to say anything to me because we weren't in contact anymore, and she knew I didn't want to see her again, so she thought at the time maybe I'd reject my son. Holy fuck, I was pissed. When we were talking about this, I was half yelling slash crying over the whole thing. No matter how many times she told me sorry for assuming I wouldn't want anything to do with him, the act still made me miss out on my son. Because now we were in this sort of messed up scenario of our kids being friends and not knowing he's also my kid. My ex still hasn't started apologizing. I'm trying not to stay mad at her. She seems like she really regrets it, and so far she's agreed to everything I've asked. Paternity test for starters, where we got the proof I'm his biological dad, wanting to spend time with him, let him know I'm his dad. None of this has been easy. The kid seems to be having a better time adjusting. My son just thinks it's cool right now to suddenly have a big brother, but I think when that excitement wears off, there will be more stuff to deal with. My eldest is more shy around me. Back then, he didn't really care. She already told him I'm his dad, and we did a one on one meeting recently. Got to know him better and do something together, just me and him. It was a nice time. He still comes over with my son so that they can hang out or I can see them together after school. Guess for me, it's been hard seeing him, and knowing we still have a long way to go to building an actual relationship. Wish we could have had that since the beginning. It's still so trippy thinking about it though. My son unknowingly became friends with a kid he didn't even know was his half brother. Then, what if I knew about him back then? Would my youngest even exist right now if she would have told me? My mind goes down the rabbit hole with that one. At least this hasn't affected their friendship. I'm hoping it stays strong the more I get to be part of his life and he becomes more part of our lives. Commenter 1. I'm glad it worked out, but from how you wrote this, I wouldn't have told you either. Doesn't seem like it ended well, and then you yell and blame her when she's too scared to come forward. Sounds like you missing out on the kid's first 8 years was also partly your fault. OP, it didn't end well since I found out she was cheating on both me and her boyfriend at the time, but that's why I'm trying to let go of that so we can do better at co parenting. Yeah, I mean, I think it's not the best idea to just scream at her and cry and stuff. But I think that you're not a bad person. Like, I want to believe that you're a good person and you were just really emotional right there. You just let it all out on her. And was it a good idea? No. But now that you have it all out there, like out there for her and out there for you, and it's off your chest, I hope you can go into a better situation with your kid, you know? And don't even start thinking about would your youngest even exist right now. Don't even think about that shit, man. Because here's the thing. No matter what happened, it happened. You can't go back. You can't go to the past. You can't make up time with your new son. You can't you know, think of any of these hypotheticals, it doesn't matter because it's not going to happen, right? So you should just be very grateful and loving to the sons that you do have and not even worry about what would have happened either way. Anyways, just try to be the best dad that you can. Try to work things out with her as well because I'm sure that she wants her son to have a dad just as much as you want to be the dad to her son. Oh, yeah. Let's just get into the next story. The title on this one is pretty crazy. 90% positive my sister in law, currently living with us, stole my wife's dog and gave him to her friend. Hello, everyone. We live in Boise, Idaho. Last week, my wife's dog Bonjo was missing from our backyard. My wife hung up flyers everywhere, and through social media, the search for Bonjo has been shared through multiple states. We haven't received tons of calls and sightings of a wandering pug near where we live. We've checked, and it hasn't been Bonjo. A little background. My wife's sister, who is living with us at the moment, has expressed her hate that our dog sleeps in a house outside during spring, summer, and warm days and falls. She believes he should be an inside dog, and has always hated that he sleeps in a doghouse. My wife always has her dog inside during the day, but most nights he sleeps in his doghouse outside. Anyways, our dog went missing last Saturday morning and the gate was open. We 100% saw him sleeping outside the night before. Apparently, my wife's sister's friend posted to social media with a picture of a brand new pug she got, which happened to be the night before he went missing. When my wife went to look, the friend and the sister in law blocked her from their social media. We had someone else try and look to see if it was him, but the post was quickly removed, I guess. My sister-in-law's friends usually come over to our house twice a month, so she knows the dog in our house. The friend hasn't posted any pictures of the dog, but apparently she named the dog Nacho, which sounds decently close to Bonjo and would allow him to come to their call. My sister-in-law instantly gets quiet whenever we bring Bonjo up and is seriously acting suspicious as there are some other personal details regarding why we believe she would take him. The sister-in-law and friend are both around 19 and act very immaturely. My wife thinks they are at the friend's keeping the dog at the friend's boyfriend's house. Sorry, there was missing a word there. We found out where he lives, and my wife wants to go on a stakeout to see if we can see if it's him that they have before contacting the police about it. I want to confront the sister in law about it, but my wife is worried if we do, she will tell her friend to move the dog somewhere else to stay out of trouble. My question is, if they really did steal our dog, what can we do about it? Also, any advice would be greatly appreciated. My wife has been so upset this last week, and I just want to find her dog. I have a feeling my sister in law did take him and give him to her friend. I just don't want to take action without full blown proof. We have multiple pictures of Bonzo to compare and see if it's him, and also have proof of when we purchased our dog and also the social media post about him missing. I just want to find him and will be upset if they really did this to us. Thank you for reading. Commenter 1. Did you ever take the dog to the vet? Did he have any operation or stitches that could be used to verify? OP. No, we do not. He is a very unique pug, though, way taller and longer legged than most pugs. Luckily, we have lots of pictures of him to compare. So, don't you have a chip in your dog? Okay, I'm sorry. I missed a comment by OP. He says he hasn't taken his dog to the vet because they got him after he had his shots and he's just turning 1. Okay, that makes sense, but go to the vet and get a chip in this dog for sure, because then you'll know if it's your dog or not. And I'm pretty sure it is, I'm not gonna lie, because it just sounds like something that your sister-in-law that you described as very immature would do. And give the dog to her friend who has suspiciously blocked you on social media despite not knowing you at all. Right? That's a little weird, you know. Anyways, let's just see how it plays out. Update. Here's an update since my last post. My wife got her friend to confront the friend and her boyfriend who they thought took him in. They were recording the whole interaction. The friend and her boyfriend pretended they had no idea who my wife was, even though the girl has came over to our house multiple times over the years and is best friends with my wife's sisters. Our dog Bonjo was at the door when they answered. After my wife's friends confronted them and told them they were going to get the police involved, they slammed the door in her face. My wife talked to a cop but was told they couldn't do anything that night since the couple that took our dog lived in the next city by. My wife gave them the information about it all and gave them the girl's number who took the dog. The cop called her and left a voicemail after she didn't answer. The cop then called my wife and told her to just go to the house with the cop on the line. They then acted like they didn't have a dog, even though they just saw the dog when they first confronted them. The cop told my wife to leave the house because the girl wouldn't even come to the door to talk to my wife. The cops told my wife they would call her back once the girl responded to the cop's voicemail. 10 minutes later, the girl who stole the dog texted my wife saying they will give her Bonjo back as long as they don't involve the cops. Sketchy. They met up with them and got Bonjo back while being cussed out for stalking them and finding where they live. Bonjo is now at home, and I've never seen my wife so happy with tears of joy. As for my wife's sister, who is currently living with us and was part of the whole process, she's playing dumb and acting like she didn't know about it until a couple days ago. We will be having a sit down discussion with her once she gets home, and we'll be giving her an eviction notice on when she needs to be moved out. I will let her know, and we'll be recording the whole conversation as well as a written eviction notice document. My wife is beyond upset that she would betray her sister, especially after we were only charging her $50 a month for one rent with her own bathroom, letting her use our car to get to work, and even feeding her so she could save up for a vehicle herself. As much as I hate being mean to people, I can't allow her to live with us any longer and will be cutting off letting her use the car today. I just really hope she learns a lesson from this just as much as I have. Thanks everyone for the advice and opinions, we really appreciate it. Now on to my next update. I've read every comment you guys wrote and I completely agree with you all. First off, I've never really had a dog before because I'm not an animal person. My wife, on the other hand, is the biggest animal lover I've ever met. She would literally adopt every animal she has come across if she could. I wasn't aware pugs had such issues sleeping outside, even if he slept in an insulated doghouse. Some more background information is we didn't let him sleep outside until 2 months ago. He would be inside all day until around 7 p.m. and sleep in his doghouse. Around this time, the outside temperature was averaging 70 degrees outside. Another piece of information I've learned is my wife has actually gave Bonjo his worming shots and that tick stuff you give a dog. We live in a subdivision with a decent sized gated backyard, so I wasn't worried about animals attacking him. Because of the feedback you guys have given me, I have talked to my dog and we will be making Bonzo an inside dog from now on. We will also be making sure he goes to the vet and gets all of his shots and checkups. I apologize if I upset anyone about the way we treated Bonjo. I didn't put enough effort into thinking about his sleeping and veterinarian needs. I am currently in the process of potty training our 2.5-year-old son and have been putting more effort than anything else making sure he is learning and using the potty. So, we will be working our hardest to give Bonjo the best life he can. My wife loves him more than anything and treats him as another son. I've honestly never seen anyone love a dog as much as my wife loves and treats Bonjo. He is super happy and excited to be home, and my son gave him a big ass hug as soon as he got here. Thanks everyone for your guys' help with me. Advice, thoughts, and your opinions. I will work my hardest to make sure we can be the best dog owners we can possibly be, and I'm just glad he's home. Thank you all again. And we are getting Bonjo microchip this Friday. Dude, your sister-in-law's friend or whatever, she's fucking insane, dude. The second she saw this police, she just dipped. Like, the second someone said anything, the second you put the pieces together, she was like, "Yeah, this ain't gonna work. You can have the dog back." It makes me wonder why she even took him in the first place if he wasn't gonna fight for him. Like, did your sister-in-law really just do it because she didn't like the way your dog was an outside dog? Also, I had no idea you had to keep pugs inside either. I live in a place where you can't really leave a dog outside because it's too cold in the winter and way too hot in the summer. But still, I thought most dogs could maybe be dogs that slept outside at night. But then again, why would you keep your dog inside all day and then have them sleep outside? That doesn't really make any sense either, but I I don't know enough about dogs, right? I only have my golden retriever and he's a handful, dude, I tell you. Story 4. I, 27M, was sent a screen recording of my girlfriend's 33F Tinder profile. Background info, I suppose. My girlfriend and I have been dating for over 2 years and we've been living together for a year and a half. I work in the ER and on the ambulance, so I work long 12-hour shifts, days and sometimes nights. I clocked out of my shift at the hospital earlier today and was walking out with a couple of my nurse friends to ask me to wait for them so we could walk out together. I didn't think much of it as the three of us are super close due to trauma bond and working together for about 2 years now. As we got outside and into the parking lot, my friend, who we'll call Anna, said, "Hey, I need to show you something and I'm sorry that I am the one showing you." Anna pulls up her phone and said, Alyssa was swiping on Tinder and came across this profile. She turns her phone and shows me a screen recording that Alyssa took of her Tinder and the profile. Sure as shit, it's my girlfriend. The only thing is that all the photos are old. Like, I'm positive that these are old photos because they're all photos I came across on her Facebook after we became friends at a previous job we both worked at. Obviously, regardless of the age of the photos, seeing my girlfriend's Tinder profile popping up on my friend's phone was quite a shock. They both apologized profusely again, told me they loved me and that I could call them tonight to talk if need be since we're all off tomorrow. I told Anna to send me the video, gave them a hug, and left. On the way home, I was talking to Gemini about Tinder profiles and how long they stay active after the app is uninstalled or whatever the case. Gemini is the Google AI, by the way. From what I can find online, it seems odd that her profile would be active after over 2 years. I'm home now. My girlfriend noticed something was up with me, but I told her we would talk about it later, after her class and after her son, 10M, had gone to bed. I just want to know how should I approach this. Thanks in advance. Commenter 1. Yo, if someone's Tinder's account is showing up, they've been active in recent months. If they're inactive, it doesn't show the profile after a certain amount of time. If you've been dating for 2 years, then, I have bad news for you unless it's someone using her photos and name. Commenter 2. It isn't complicated, but it can be emotionally difficult. My coworkers have a video that records a Tinder profile that looks like yours. Show her the video. Is this your active profile? Unless someone's got a vendetta against your girlfriend from what the comments and stuff are saying, it's definitely her account, right? I mean, and she's active, right? Because, it would make sense that Tinder wouldn't show you inactive accounts because the whole point of Tinder is to get people to spend money on getting dates lined up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a rough situation, but let's see what the real reason was behind all this. Update. 1 days later. 1 day later. I know a lot of you were wanting an update, so here we are. I will also add background info / clarification as I wrote this while my head was spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. Her child is 10 years old. I can see how that would be confusing. Yes, my girlfriend is bisexual. Yes, so is Alyssa, who originally found her profile. I imagine Alyssa sent the screen recording to Anna because she either felt Anna and I were closer, or because Alyssa wasn't at work but Anna and I were. Not sure. didn't ask. But to the ones who suspect that they're just trying to break us up for no reason or out of jealousy, this ain't it. Okay, so after my girlfriend was done with her online class and her son was in bed, we both sat down on the couch to talk. It took me a few seconds to get the words out of my own mouth, but I told her that I was shown a video of her Tinder account. To which she replied, "Who showed you?" And that pretty much answered all my questions, and my head started to spin even faster. I told her that I wasn't sure why that was even relevant right now, but she insisted, so I told her Anna showed it to me. She has also met Anna and knows that Anna is straight, 6 months pregnant, and married. I told her that Alyssa had sent it to her and she showed it to me. Again, questioning why this was relevant, I asked her if she was on Tinder. She replied yes. She admitted to downloading it a week ago and attempting to match with women for flirtatious conversations/attention. She did show me the messages, and I confirmed that they were all with women, that they were all just flirtatious conversations. She assured me that she has no intentions further than flirtatious conversations, and I believe that as she is 30 pounds heavier now and rocking a pixie cut, but still using the photos from 3 years ago. She said she just downloaded the app and logged right back in and didn't edit anything about the profile from before. She also got very defensive. She brought up an argument from the past, trying to deflect and somehow make me look like I'm the jerk here. I called her out on it, but I was also trying to keep my cool in between, still trying to come to terms that this was really happening. The last year hasn't been easy for us. Between health issues, jobs, cost of living going up, and getting laid off, work issues, it's been rough. She said she felt like something had been missing between us lately, that she's so lost that she doesn't know what she's doing. She sobbed and told me she made a really stupid mistake, to which I agreed. I told her how stupid I felt because when I was shown the video by my friends, I almost just laughed it off because it was so out of left field and the photos were old as shit. I told myself, there's no way. I don't know what to do. As said previously, we have lived together for 2 years. I contribute my income to the home mortgage and all the other monthly bills. She co-signed on the car I bought because I started developing credit late and had bad credit. We have the same phone plan. We're on the same car insurance. So much of my life is wrapped up in the relationship, I don't know where to begin unraveling it. I don't know where to go. Currently, I think I am sticking it out here until I can build up my credit and hopefully my savings. I just got laid off at one job, so I'm working part-time in the ER until I start my new job on December 1st. I'm honestly just so lost myself. I know I should leave, but I care about her. I am scared to put her and her son in a bad spot. After the year she's had, I don't know what she would do. She doesn't have a support system behind her like she has me. Commenter 1. I mean, this would be immediately breakup territory for me. There are issues she should have brought up to you for conversation as opposed to seeking outside validation. She's putting herself before the relationship. Her needs for attention will continue to grow. Eventually, harmless flirting won't be enough, so she will take it a step further. She's in a committed, monogamous relationship. The only person she should be seeking attention from is you. Commenter 2. She emotionally cheated on you at least. She actively hid other relationships from you. I couldn't trust her, and there isn't any reason to be in a relationship with someone you don't trust. OP. I know. So, I mean, it's a rough situation, right? Because you don't have the means to move out. Or maybe you do have the means to move out, but you don't want to because you know it will put your girlfriend, who you love, in a rough situation. Now, I mean, you may not love her to the extent you did before finding out she was cheating on you, but part of you does still care, and I can tell by the way you wrote your post and by the way you're conflicting actions in your head, as opposed to just leaving as soon as you can. Of course, the main reason that people, well, not maybe not the main reason, but one reason that, people sometimes stay in these bad relationship situations is because they can't afford to get out of it. And that's a really, really sad part of life, but it happens far too often on Reddit for me not to know that that's kind of what's going on here. So, advice wise, try not to get not like attached, but like just keep in the back of your mind that you're leaving, because with situations like these, sometimes you could easily get manipulated to stay, and you don't want to stay with her because eventually this flirtatious bullshit that she's talking about isn't going to be enough. She's going to want more. It's like an addiction, basically. She's seeking attention from other people without considering it emotionally cheating, which is what it is to me anyways. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is, but it's what it looks like to me, especially if she's bisexual and you guys are in a monogamous relationship. Then she is looking for other like validation from, you know, sexual partners basically, which isn't cool. Not cool at all. Anyways, that's all for this story, and that's all for Multiple Story Monday number 3. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.